I started out in high school as a dishwasher and a busboy, and then had an opportunity to start working with the chef and became a prep cook, and really that was how I got my start in the food service industry. And since then, after high school, I went to school in Herkimer for radio, TV, broadcasting, and came home to work in some restaurants back around the area, in and out of those 2 years through the summers. And back then I was involved with working at Vernon Downs, and we did some big concerts such as the K-Rockathons and Fish and Dave Matthews Band, the Horde Tour. I was involved with behind the scenes as far as planning and the execution and working to make everybody that was on the field working the concessions just smooth. We cranked out dinners for some private parties. We did all the setup, worked through the whole shows, that did the breakdowns, and I mean, those shows were, I mean, we would work, 14, 15 hours for days prior to the show to get it together, and then the day of the show, I remember working 20, 22 hours during some of those concerts, those events. I started going after Herkimer to Buffalo, and when I was there, I got an opportunity to work for a catering company that did a lot with the school itself. I was going to school for media studies. They knew that I had experience, and they allowed me to basically come in and work any shift that I wanted. We had so much going on. We did everything from student lunches to VIP boxes for sporting events, all the way up to private sit-down dinners at the president of the college's house. I learned a tremendous amount there. I came back my senior year and to do the freshman orientation, and we did something like over 20,000 people for a chicken barbecue that day. It was just up there just to see the event itself was quite outrageous, the way that we set up the pits right in the parking lot. It's probably by far the biggest barbecue that I've been involved with. Since then I came back and have worked at a lot of different restaurants around in a lot of different capacities. Also had some opportunity to do some barbecue catering with a couple of personal friends of mine, and then about 5.5 years ago they decided that they didn't really want to do it anymore. Those past few years before that, Tim had moved out to Colorado and met up with this kid Eric. Turned out they shared some passion for trying to experiment and make barbecue sauce, and also make their own smokers and play around with some barbecue. And Tim would come home and we would talk about some business ventures and about starting up some things. And Tim and Eric shared the same birthday, 8/10/80, so that's where the name of the barbecue sauce came from. But about 6 years ago, Tim had an opportunity to come back. He was in Wisconsin with Eric at the time, but had a chance to come back for work here in the Syracuse area. So he came back, and right at the same time as that, I had booked a catering, and I asked him, I said, let's use your barbecue sauce, and why don't you come down and do the event with me? And he did, and then that went quite well, and we had opportunities to book other events through that first one. So we ended up going down, we filed for DBAs, we went in and ended up getting business insurance. We both have business insurance. We're coming up to our 6th year, and we're fortunate to develop our website and really establish the brand that we have, and word of mouth has taken off. We started off doing mostly just family reunions and graduations and that sort of thing, and over the past few years we've really expanded and are doing much more weddings and rehearsal dinners and corporate lunches. It's really taken off. We've done all sorts of different parties, and I mean, we've had some great response, great feedback. We've had multiple parties book us for return events, return graduation parties, return family reunions. And I mean, in this business, in an area like this, I think that says something for sure about the support in the community here and the brand that we've worked so hard to build. We have quite a passion. My experience, just not only working in the restaurants and in the situations that I have, I've also really enjoy to study and research what makes a restaurant fail and what makes one successful. And I've took close note working with different chefs and cooks over the years in businesses and management in the different bars and restaurants, diners, wherever I've been, to really pay attention to what's good and what's not so good, what works and what doesn't. And that's something that I enjoy looking at and researching and experimenting with new ideas, and just have a passion for the food industry. We feel we've been quite successful as starting up with basically minimal planning and really no budget at all to build ourselves to where we are now. I feel is a great accomplishment for both Tim and myself. Like I said, being in a small market in a tough economy, and we've pushed through, managed to succeed so far, and we're looking forward to the next 50 years to see where we can really take this business and grow with it.